Welcome to the Startup Grind.
All right, so given that you've actually participated in a lot of different events, especially women-related contests and so forth, it seems like you were always interested in doing a startup. But at the same time, you actually went to work for a company before you got sick of it and then left, right? So can you just kind of talk to us about your process about getting into a startup environment?
Yeah. Actually, at first, I didn't think about to make the company. Actually, I always have interest in communication channel, especially the online communication channel like Twitter and Facebook. So I majored in communications in university, and after that, I decided to take the job as some kind of communication channel for something. So it sounds weird, but I choose the online game company and Soft at the time because the department I applied in is they make the educational games. So I thought that probably game also can be the different kind of educational channel. But after I entered the NCSoft, I realized that because I'm not hardcore gamer, but everyone in NCSoft always asks me that what is your iron server, and also what kind of full level do you have? So, so after that I realized probably I don't like my product, so that means probably I don't like my job actually. So at the time, I think about to quit the job, and also at the same time, one of my friends asked me that one of his friends prepared the offline matchmaking company, but after that he decided to move that at the online part, online dating. So, but he didn't know actually the online product, so probably you can help him. So I met him, and after that I worked with him as a part-time about 2 and 3 weeks. But after that he offered me work with me because his team is broke out, and so he had to make another team. So I decided to quit the job at NCSoft, and after that I made the Hee-Eun with that man. So frankly speaking, I'm not the founder actually, but some kind of founder.
Right, okay. Well, I guess it depends. You started basically Hee-Eun with him because there wasn't Hee-Eun before you. Right?
Yeah, right.
And as a person who is actually starting that, typically, we don't have a lot of young kind of women actually starting companies, especially in Korea. So what kind of, you started it, but did you kind of run into a lot of issues because you are a young person, and especially because you're a woman?
Everyone asked me that it's truly difficult to handle your company as a young woman, but I think that in terms of tech industry, as a woman is not some kind of very difficult thing because everyone in tech industry are nicer than the other industry, I think. Yeah, probably that's the reason. I already think every man treat me as a fair. Yeah, fair. But also I'm a little bit arrogant, so I always can communicate with the older people very well. So probably I don't have much trouble for that. But also the positive thing to me, if I'm the young man, probably it's truly difficult to communicate with the elder guy. But the gender difference times that makes it easier to communicate with the elder man. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, did it help you get get introductions to a lot of people?
Yeah. Right.
And then because it made it easier to talk to investors, even maybe.
And also in tech industry, as you mentioned that there's no enough the women actually the CEOs. So in terms of PR, probably they're helpful because I know that Hee-Eun because the CEO is the woman, right? Everyone say like that, so it's probably worth it to promote our service.
Wow, okay. Well, so did you use that as a mechanism? Because Hee-Eun just grew out of like almost nothing, and then it just really just hyper fast growth. And it was a good idea, but maybe for those of us who are not really familiar with Hee-Eun, maybe we can just do a quick description of what Hee-Eun is and how it actually worked.
Okay, Hee-Eun is an online dating service, and we launched the service 2010 May. So if you are singles, those are 20 to 30s, you can sign up for Hee-Eun, and after that, every 12:30 p.m. you can get one profile, and after that, every day you can check your partner's profile, just one profile, and after that you can see his characteristic and his photo and what he like and what he don't like. After that, you have to decide okay or pass. If you want to meet him, you have to press the okay button, but you don't want to, you just pass and wait the next day. If both sides, you and him, send okay, the match is confirmed, so your contact information like phone number and name is exchanged, so our work is done now.
Oh, okay. So you have one person you meet, but then there could be some people who never get a match. So how do you do that? I'm sure that happens.
Yeah, frankly, sometimes that happens, and so some users complained about that. But after that, our customer service center member consulting about his profile or her profile, because sometimes, interestingly, men don't have enough photo about themselves, so they usually upload very weird photos. Shoot the cigarette or...
I've been using Facebook for like ever. My photo is still my dog.
right, dog. So usually we recommend change your photo and change it nicer. Yeah.
Oh, so do you also have helping with the Photoshop, like make it look nicer?
We have to do that.
Oh, I see. All right, great. So I mean, and then you guys kind of went on a hyperpath of some sort because people started talking about your app a lot. They discussed. I remember when I first came, they were like, "Oh, have you actually seen this app?" I mean, not that I would use it or anything, but. I'm married, happily married with kids and everything, but they showed me because they said, hey, look, at the time I was working at Samsung, they said, hey, you should take a look at this app. And they kind of showed me what it was, and they said, look, this is like flying off the charts. You got to pay attention to this. And then I was like, oh, what's up with the icon? So then he proceeded to tell me something about the icon, which I wanted to ask you. So is it true?
The god, you mean?
There's a that person actually I heard that the character was actually after you.
Yeah, you mean the character like the god? We call that Hee-Eun. That means he dominate about the relationship about the peoples, and the character have the 3 eyes actually, and looks very cute. But everyone. Think about that, the character looks like me, so probably the designer, when he made the character, probably think about me, but actually it's not true because the designer is the part-time job, so I always send, when I asked to make the character to him, I just email him, so he never saw me up before make the character.
Oh, so it's not true. So what I heard was that, oh yeah, the character's wholly, after her. They must have looked at her picture and actually drew it after her, but that's not true then.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay. Well, that's an urban legend. After 4 years, now I know. Right? So and then when you actually started working and starting to get more people to use it, how did you actually get the word out? Because it seems like people were talking about it, but at the same time, you must have done something to make it start growing very quickly. A lot of us are interested in, getting some of these insights from you as to how can we get the first, well, let's say first 10,000, 100,000, let's say, users.
Like any other startup, we also have enough budget to marketing, but so at the time we take two options. We have to take the two target. The first is the university students. Most of the university have the online communities, so I read the article in my university, and after that I asked to my friends take the reply about that article. So they already said, oh, I already know that Hee-Eun. It's very nice, it's very nice. We also take the same strategy at the other university. So after that, several top tier university students signed up in our service. Yeah, luckily after 2 or 3 weeks later, at the time we didn't notice that, but lots of women, usually like the online dating service, the new user always mainly men, not a woman. But during
guess why? Guess why?
But during that time, 3 times women entrepreneur. So after that, lots of journalists think about that, thought about that. It's truly interesting because the online dating service usually made by men, and it goes to prostitution sites that day, but actually Hee-Eun is not that kind of service, and it's made by the young educated women. So several major journalists wrote about the story, and after that, that goes viral. That is the tipping point of us. But after that, we realized that our service, as I mentioned, that our service always men really like our service, and they always introduce their friends. Like, I found a very good one, so you have to use that for make your girlfriends. But always woman also, even if she's satisfied about our service, they never introduce Hee-Eun to their girlfriends, because always, I don't know why, but they always do not.
Why do women just not tell their friends about some other great site where they can meet great guys, right? Yeah.
So we decided to marketing to the women, but we don't have enough budget, so we think about co-partnership with the big brand for women, like the Cafe Bene and also Mr. Pizza, that kind of service. So at first time, it's truly hard to make the partnership with them, but when we first make that with the Cafe Bene, and after that, when we meet Mr. Pizza, I said that probably you can see the co-partnership with the Cafe Bene. So you probably like it because Cafe Bene already did that. So after that, Mr. Pizza made that deal. So we picked that one.
So why did Cafe Bene make a deal? Like, so what was in it for them?
The day is the Valentine's Day, so the Cafe Bene have to make some kind of event, but even if it's just the small gift, to Cafe Bene it's truly big budget, so they don't want to spend enough real budget. So I said to them, if your customer is single, we can make the sogeting. So the Cafe Bene said, wow, it's truly great. but also it means we can get the new user. So yeah.
Well, so that means that at Cafe Bene, how did they actually? So let me ask, how did they actually market your application at Cafe Bene? What was the mechanism in which they actually did this?
They have the PDP every store, so we make the video ads about Hee-Eun, so they played the ads, and also at the train mat, you can see the promotion like that. If you order the chocolate menu, we can get introduce the very good man to you by using the Hee-Eun. Yeah.
So whose idea was that? Was that your idea, or is that something that kind of came up out of nowhere?
One of our team members' idea actually.
That's actually genius. And basically, it didn't cost you more than to make that video, probably.
Yeah, it's just
if you knew Productions, they would have actually done it for free for you. So, and they just kind of made it, and everything just went viral from there.
Yeah, because the Cafe Bene is big brand, so everyone can see their promotion when they drop by the Cafe Bene. So, because they need the conviction about the success about the promotion, so but they sell the promotion, so it's totally easy to decide to them.
I see. And how? So you can't say that it's okay, but how many users do you end up getting from that type of a promotion? And in what period of time?
Using the Cafe Bene, it's about 20,000 women, but it's not only for the Cafe Bene offline promotion, because we also take the online buyer with that Cafe Bene promotion. So we wrote about the Cafe Bene promotion every online community. So probably it worked, I think.
Okay. And can you give us an estimate of what kind of success looks like? So that a lot of us don't know. Sometimes when we do something, we may end up getting 100 users, 1,000 users, 10,000 users, but what can it actually eventually go up to? If it's really successful, can we expect like 100,000 users in maybe like a week or so with a certain type of promotion?
It's not easy to calculate the success about or the sign up user using the offline promotion, but if you guys decide to take that kind of offline promotion, you guys also have to consider the online viral. Without the online buyer, the offline promotion just like, oh, it's really interesting, that's it. So at the offline store, you can see Hee-Eun just one time. After that, when you go to the online community, when you probably notice about Hee-Eun twice. So
I see. And so did you ever then spend any marketing dollars? So right now it may be different because we actually have to get to the first 1 million users, 2 million users. Just getting over that million is actually not an easy job, right? So how then would you recommend to startups to help themselves get over that hump? Do you do paid marketing, for instance? Would you recommend that? Would you not recommend that?
Yeah, lots of people think about the basic marketing, and also I think it works. So with the limited marketing budget, all of us have to focus in the online marketing, I think, because you can calculate the performance at the online, but the offline, you cannot do that. You can notice about how many users we have from there. So we spent $5,000 after 2012, because that time we already make the BP. So we plan to spend marketing budget, the Facebook, and also mobile-based neighbor search ads. And what else? And also, we took the co-promotion with the other app focusing the women, like some kind of mobile shopping app, and yeah, that kind of thing.
So, I mean, what specific, just an example of what that would be? Partnerships with other apps focusing on your target segment. What kind of promotions have you run with that, for example, online?
For example, sorry, I forgot about. We also co-promotion with the rhythm game application. So after the gamer makes some success about the game, after that they can get points about EM. So after that, they introduce about EM. So if you sign up to EM, you can get the game money from that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's been a while, right?
Yeah.
So I'll so why don't we actually move into more of your recent experiences?
Thank you.
Yeah, so before I move on, I mean, I think, you know, you're a very successful CEO. Everybody knew who you were, and then, you know, you moved over actually to become an investor in Altos Ventures. So, you know, why the change from being an entrepreneur to an investor?
And also the difficult question.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Yeah, frankly speaking, as I mentioned, my co-founder like to focusing the offline matchmaking company, offline matchmaking. Also, the offline matchmaking industry is very huge. They charge $500 per one date, so it also, yeah, probably worth.
Really?
Yeah.
Who thinks that? Wow, I need to get into that business.
So he went to focus. He went to expand our service to offline matchmaking, but to me, I really like the online communication channel. So I think that's the reason I went to deeply focus on online dating service. So we have the different purpose. So at that time, we have to decide who remain or not. So I decided to quit the job at the time because, frankly, he's the main shareholder. So and also he's elder than me. So I thought that at the time probably it's his last company, I think. So I have to follow his purpose. So I have to prepare. I went to help him within 6 months. So I told him, okay, I will help you during the 6 months, and after that, I will quit the job. So yeah.
Well, so just kind of like that, and then just moved over to become an investor.
Yeah, because legally I cannot quit the job because I was also the CEO. So if I want to quit the job, I have to take the permission from the VC because the several three of VC already invested in our company. So I met them and take the permission, and one of the VC named Altos Ventures. So I really admire him, and also at the time actually I don't know what VC is, so I asked to Cheo at the VCNC because he's my close friend. So I asked to him, hey, how can suggest to work with him, but I don't know what venture capitalist is. So yeah, he know that very well than me. So he explained about the job. So I think that that's truly valuable. So yeah, that's the reason.
All right. Wow, so it's a huge change. But now that you're at the venture capital, so switching gears to VC world, what's the kind of investment thesis from your company's perspective first, and then I'll go into more of your experience.
In Altos Ventures?
Yeah, for Altos Ventures. What do they typically look at as a company?
Yeah. Altos Ventures started in 1996 at Silicon Valley. The three partners, and at the US, we usually focused on B2B side, online. But in Korea, after 2010, one of our partner, Han Kim, decided to invest Korea more and more. So at the time, we invested in Coupang and 배달의 민족. Probably lots of people know about that. So in this year, we made the fund wholly focused in Korea. So after that, we decided to only invest in so-called ICT, information communication technology. Yeah, that's center. So we usually invested in B2C based service and e-commerce and the online and mobile game.
E-commerce, I get. I guess the technology. So information. What do you mean? That's really big.
Yeah.
So what is that area? B2C. You mentioned B2C information. What does that entail?
And we usually invest in the online and mobile utility, like the 직방. They focus on housing rental listing service, and the 배달의 민족 food ordering service, and the job planning. They are some kind of Glassdoor like service, the job review service. So we usually like the service focusing to the customer.
Oh, like Mango Play.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, right.
Okay, I got it. And then the technology part. So which part is that?
Always.
Everything's technology too, right? So.
Yeah, when we set up the ICT, it usually covers that kind of not only focusing the technology, because I believe that 배달의 민족 and 직방 also have their own technology. So, yeah.
I see. So it's not just purely a random directory type stuff. It's got some technology that's powering those services. Okay. Okay, so now kind of going into more of your experience. So what are you now currently kind of looking at these days? For the ones that you can talk about.
Okay. Nowadays, I have interest in media startup because in Korean media also there's a lot of chance to change, like the BuzzFeed in US, and also lots of media company also the Huffington Post in US too. But in Korea, the media is dominated by the 재벌, so I think probably it's time to change about that. So I went to meet the company like that kind of thing. Also, we usually so-called fintech, about the payment-based startup. So we already invest in Viva Republica. They focused on mobile money transferring service like the Venmo and Scare Cash in US.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's for Korea?
Yeah, that's
wow,
for Korea.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm ready for Venmo.
Yeah, next month they will launch in Korea. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, next when?
Next month.
Oh, next month. Wow, awesome. And then you also kind of travel to different countries. Do you also invest outside of Korea as well?
Only one company we invested in outside Korea. It's Indian company. but they are online game publishing companies. So usually it's truly interesting because the CEO is Korean, but all the other people is Indian. So
wow,
it's very interesting. So when I first met him at Korea, I really went to invest to him, but our three-year partner said that, well, probably the service is nice, but for the due diligence, one of us have to visit the India, but I don't want to go there. Everyone said like that. So that's the reason I have to go to India for the due diligence. But after that, I realized that India is truly fascinating country. It specializes in online game. So the company also can find the great game in Korea and take that to India. So I think probably they can make a great chance. So it's even if it's exceptional for us, but we decide to invest in the company.
Okay. So you I guess decided that just going forward. Okay, that's great. So I do have quite a bit of other. I'm getting kind of the reminder that I should open up the questions to the floor because a lot of the times I tend to run over. So I'm going to actually start opening up questions to the floor so that they can ask questions. Okay. So can we actually have the microphone? Oh, got it. And then any questions from the floor? Yep, over there. So typically we'll run through the questions for the next 15 minutes.
Okay. First of all, thank you for having a time to have a talk. It's very insightful. My question goes to you that first of all, you are in the VC right now, and you were at the founder before. So I want to know what kind of qualities are needed in both sides, in founders and VC. And secondly, I'm really curious about your story on making something from 0 to 1, and making from the scratch, and what kind of struggle you experienced in the early period of your founding. So if you don't want to type in, just ask him to stop typing. And it's like I want to know your struggling story when you started.
Okay, the first question is, when you decide to make your own startup, you have to think about to be patient about everything, because we already told about fascinating story about Facebook, or they can also they kind of extraordinary growing fast company, but usually probably you guys realize that there's a lot of startup have struggling to make that kind of success. So always we have to be patient for making something. It's very important thing, I think, as a startup CEO. But as a VC, also the different kind of characteristic have to be needed. As a VC always invested lots of companies, so probably some company failed to make the great success. But if the VC have deeply disappointed about that, usually I think it's not good, because sometimes they can fail. Well, also you can look for the other startup also. Yeah. Sorry. The last question, the struggling point when I handle this startup, right? When I start our service, I don't figure out the difference with the Java and JavaScript. Yeah. So I am very terrible decision maker at the time when it comes to decide to launching our service. So, for example, our 2010 May, we made our beta version. It's the free service, but we don't have enough money, so we have to change that as a charged version. For that, our engineer already tried to make the charged version, but when he said probably it delayed, I said to everyone, okay, we will launch next week, not this week. But I repeat that kind of word 5 or 6 times every week. So all of our team members are exhausted about that. So at the time, it's truly, at the time I was very terrible decision maker, I think. So I realized that knowing what I don't know is truly important. Yeah.
So just basically you didn't have any money, and then you kept delaying the product launch,
Yeah, right.
which essentially exhausted everyone in the
Yeah,
company
right.
because you didn't really make decisions at the time.
Yeah, right.
Or no decision is not as, bad decision is better than no decision, essentially. Can we kind of take that from what you're saying?
No, I mean, at the time, I think I have to know what I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's important to figure out what you don't know.
Yeah,
That's
right.
a part of like what you do.
I got 2 questions, and first is, how did you monetize the online dating service? So how did you make money off of it? And the second is, you said there were at one point 3 times as many women on the app. Did that gap quickly shrink once the men found out, or?
Yeah,
I mean,
unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then the first question, how do you monetize the service? Ads or paid app or?
Yeah. As I mentioned, our service, if you want to meet him, so you have to press the OK button. If you want to press the OK button, you have to buy the OK coupon. It charges $3. Yeah, it's our main business model. And also, yeah, think about that. Yesterday you're truly busy, so you missed out your yesterday's destiny. But today you checked your yesterday's profile, but you cannot meet her. So you can, if you buy the Again Destiny coupon, you can meet the yesterday partners again. Yeah. Also the kind of very gamification business model we have.
I see. Wow, and this is coming from someone who doesn't like games. So if you actually press OK, and if the other person doesn't say OK, do you still pay the $3?
Yeah, right.
Wow.
It's the magical thing.
Wow,
Yeah.
so some people could eventually be clicking $3, and not get to meet anyone.
So we have 30 days coupon. Yeah, 30 days OK coupon. Also, you can buy that instead of the one-time coupon.
Oh, I see. So if you don't get chosen, don't worry because you can buy the 30 days.
Yeah, right.
That's great. All right. And by the way, you could ask questions in Korean.
please.
So yeah, she obviously speaks Korean as well. So you're welcome to ask the questions in Korean as well.
Hello, nice to meet you. Hello. Hello.
I can hear you.
Right. Oops, my bad. I'm actually quite curious on the ethical standpoint of you're essentially selling love. you're buying a coupon for a chance to meet someone else. What kind of decisions or like planning do you have to go through to try to monetize love?
Okay, it's very difficult question to me.
I'm sorry, I didn't get the question. What's the question? Again, one more time.
There's a lot of startup companies that try to sell a lot of different ideas or products, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this case, you're selling a date. You're selling a chance to grow love, to whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But you're charging for it. So at what point does ethics come in? You're selling love.
We thought that we are not selling love, but we are selling hope. Actually,
So I'm curious about the decisions you have to make as one of the top people in your company.
So sorry.
As one of the top leaders of your company, what kind of process did you go through when you guys decided to let's charge people for dating? I mean, it's an old concept. I mean, it's not like dating sites were created yesterday. But
Yeah.
I was always curious on what went through your mind. Like, how much do you charge?
Okay, yeah, I got it. Imagine that when I was lonely, I asked my friends to fix them up to introduce someone. So after the sogating is made, probably I will buy a cup of coffee to he or she. So at the time, the Starbucks Americano charges $3.3. So that's the reason we choose the price. The OK coupon is $3.3. Yeah. So and also we think probably people not at the university students or college students, after they graduate the school, when they start to work, probably that's they have struggled to meet the new someone, and they don't have enough time to meet someone also, but they can afford to pay for meet someone. Yeah. That's the reason we choose our target customer is middle 20 to middle 30. Yeah. And it works.
Right. Obviously it did.
Yeah.
Very well. Okay. Next question.
안녕하세요. 네, 저는 궁금한 게 뭐냐면 그 온라인 데이팅 앱 같은 서비스에는 무료도 많고 세계적으로도 알려진 것도 많은데 굳이 그 유료인 이음을 쓰는 그런 뭐 강점이 그런 게 있을까요? 그러니까 예를 들면 틴더 같은 거는 세계적으로도 많이 쓰는데 무료잖아요. 근데 뭐 이음을 씀으로써 사람들이 유료인데도 불구하고 이음을 쓰는 이유가 있을까요?
You can translate that?
Yeah, so there are a lot of different dating applications out in the market, and which are actually free. So why would people typically use this kind of paid service to meet someone rather than using something like Tinder, the likes of Tinder? Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's because of the limitation, because we just serve just one profile every day. So yeah, we really believe that people like limitation about to meet someone. So probably that's the reason they pay for us and pay to us. And the second reason is that kind of Tinder-like service, they didn't much care about the user's profile, but we usually really care about the user's profile. So when people try to sign up, we ask to their social security number. Also, we ask their phone number too, so we check is fraud or not. Also, we can check their profile because sometimes people upload the dog photo or
I love my dog.
the kind of free service, they didn't care about that, but we already check their profile, but if he or she his or her profile is not good enough, we reject their profile. Yeah. So probably I think our operation is better than the kind of free version service. So that's the reason people believe our service and pay to us. Yeah.
So it's for authenticity and people who actually sign up with real names, real people. So people then would trust your service more than anything else, right?
Okay, good evening. Thank you very much for the talk. And I am very interested in the application. I would like to ask, I wonder how can you maintain the balance between the number of men and the number of women in the application, because maybe the number of men will be higher than the number of women. And the second point is, the second question is that you said that the profile of the user is very important. So how can you rank the qualification of the user profile?
Okay. Sorry, I forgot the first question.
How do you actually maintain the balance between number of women and number of men?
We cannot actually, so we always have the waiting list about the man. So we already try to get more women in our service, but sometimes we failed. We told the man, you have to wait 1 or 2 days for keeping the ratio. Yeah. Also, it's our marketing strategy because everyone want to sign up our service, especially the men. They already introduce our service to women. Yeah. And the second question is the qualification about the member, right? Yeah. The qualification. We always said that we don't care about their quality. We care about their attitude. So that's the reason we checked who's handsome. We cannot check. We don't want to check. No.
She checked.
I checked, but our company didn't check about who's handsome or not, or who's pretty or not. We always said that we check their attitudes. That's the reason when we see the profile, sometimes older people have to put their own characteristic and their preference like that, but sometimes people say some rude words, some kind of sexual keyword, so we always reject them. So that means we care about their attitude and not their quality.
Is it working?
Yeah.
I had a question. So, 한국말로도 돼서 네, 그렇게 알아듣는 사람들 많을 것 같아서 그 데이팅 관련 앱들이 요즘 많이 나오고 있잖아요. 근데 이제 그 후발주자들이랑 경쟁해서 이미 앞으로 계속 경쟁을 해야 될 텐데 그런 방향에 있어서 데이팅 앱들이 더 이상 할 수 있는 이노베이션이나 뭐 발전 가능한 방향 같은 거에 대해서 어떻게 생각하세요? 앞으로 미래.
Yeah, that was a little too fast for me.
So my question was, there are other services, the online dating services that introduce to other people. But what would be possible innovation in the dating app services in the future
Because like there are already a lot of other services that are jumping into the market. So what's possible future points of differentiation for you to compare to future competitors?
Yeah. You do realize she's not there anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
But she's in the field.
Right.
So.
I think maybe there's lots of innovation will remain, but yeah, some people, I know some people when they try to make the online dating service, sometimes they focus on divorced person and also only focus the university students and they kind of target differentiation. And also some people think about the pet lovers matching. Sorry,
Yeah.
I don't have any idea about the kind of innovation. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I guess different market segmentation and niche markets. I guess that's probably the next kind of wave of online dating.
Yeah, June already know that.
Well, I just rephrasing what you're saying. Great. Good. So I think we do have to wrap it up, but I will take one more question. Okay, so she's been kind of dying to ask a question. Here, go ahead. Yeah. Yeah.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
So as a VC, I was just wondering, when you see a startup group come in, what are the factors of the
Wow,
team?
that microphone is just rocking.
When you look at a new team, what are the factors that go into deciding whether you want to fund that group or not?
So I'll repeat the question. When you're looking at a team, what do you look for so that you know, as an investor, you can decide to invest in that, in that company or not?
If you ask that question to several VC, probably all the VC have the same answer. Like we always focusing the right team and their teamwork and their integrity. So we also focusing their integrity also. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes when we met someone, they said like that, probably you have to invest to us, but it's our secret, so I don't want to tell our service to you, but you have to invest to us because we can be the huge one. So at that point, probably no one invests to them. And also the other example is that already several VC offered to us the great valuation and the investments, like the SoftBank and Qualcomm Ventures like that. So you have to decide you also want to invest or not. Some people have that kind of same mistake, but they have to know that the VC have their net worth, so they can easily ask that to Qualcomm Ventures and SoftBank like that. So my point is that when you meet the VC, you can have to share your right feeling, and also, yeah, I think also VC have to do that. So explain about your service, so changing their opinion very directly. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that.
So just be honest about who you are. Don't lie about your background.
Yeah, right.
And then essentially, you have to have the right fit between the team members, but also the right fit with the VCs. Don't try to play with the VCs. Don't try to kind of say, oh yeah, I have this other VC in mind, or I'm also talking to this other VC, because they won't find out. Is that
Also,
right?
yeah, I have the other thinking. For example, if the team the problem the team wants to solve is very difficult to, it's about some kind of very difficult technology based, but the team don't have the qualified engineer, we didn't invest to them. But also, if their service is very, for their service, the sales team is very important, but there's no the kind of sales team, only the engineer team, we didn't invest that. So the service the problem they want to solve, and the team, their quality or their background is have to be matched. Yeah, we always care about that.
Okay. Great. All right, so I think we have to actually wrap up. So if you have more questions, she's going to be around for a little while. So please reach out to her, talk to her. We have a lot of amazing people here today, and thank you so much for coming out there and speaking to us.